Man, I finally made it. We are still doing the stream this, making a video and or live stream every single day for the month of December for 2024. We are on day 17. I didn't put out my video today, but I am doing this live stream right at the dot. It's 11:59 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time. So I made it for today. We're going to be doing a late night work session. So if you have not seen the late night work sessions, I usually will work on my website and I talk about like the services that I provide on my website, and I'm going to be changing that a little bit because I just came out with a video talking about how I'm no longer going to be providing website development services to people, simply because I felt like it was a lot of work for not that much money, that people were not really paying. I have gotten some suggestions from people, and they said that I should charge beforehand, but I'm kind of over it. I like to do it for fun. And then now I'm getting to that stage where I would rather hire somebody to work on my own website now anyway, to expand it and actually make it so that way it generates some income. Something I did want to talk about though before we get into the topic, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me share out this stream right quick, and then I'm going to share out a Zoom link. Let me do that right quick. Let me go through all my T's, cross all my T's and dot all my I's. Let me do that right quick because I am noticing that I want to do more with my business. I have an LLC. I'm paying for it. See, this is the interesting thing about it, is that I am paying for an LLC. I'm paying for a website. The bill just came up for the website, and I was looking at it like, dang, that was like, I had to pay like $700 or $800 or something like that for my website. I'm like, man, I need to be making some money off of the website or something. So I think I may have to change the structure of how I conduct business anyway, because I'm over here like, yeah, it's cool to just provide like my expertise and advice and stuff like that, but I think I may need to start generating some income for my business. And only thing is that people clown a lot of people who ask for super chats and cash apps on like YouTube, and they ask people to join the membership and stuff. They be clowning people like that. So it's kind of like I was trying to listen to other people's opinions, but then when you think about it, that's really the only way that you actually make decent money off of off of social media, is through the membership, is through cash apps and donations. That's how you essentially will be able to make some money. I'm like, man, I go through on YouTube and I'll be making videos. I've been making videos for like, I had 17 days of making videos and not a single I had like probably one person donate this whole month $2. So you know what I mean? Like, you can't really live off of just $2 made off of 17 days of making videos. You have to go out there and make more. You have to have a reason for people to come in. I can keep making more videos, and I believe that the content I provide is pretty interesting in the sense of, this is me talking about growing in your career, getting a job in tech. There's a lot of people who make videos about getting a job in tech, and they do extremely well. So, I'm trying to just grow my personal and professional brand. I try to build money for the business, so that way, if I build more income for the business, I can grow it more. I can scale it more. So I had to provide some sort of service and or product for the business. Yeah, man. But I looked at that bill. I was like, dang, $700 for the website, man. I hadn't even made $700 off the business in the whole year. You know what I mean? Like I was demonetized a year ago. So I was demonetized a year ago. I didn't get my monetization back until summertime of this year, and then after I got remonetized, I think I made $100 back in like July or something like that, and then that was, like I made like $100, and then YouTube only pays you if you make $100, and then I had a stretch of time where I didn't make any money at all, and then I think I made one more $100, so I made $200 uh off of YouTube just by itself with no memberships or anything like that. Putting out content, right? Had a viral video, and then that was it. So yeah, man, you have to go out there, and you can't really be too scared about other people's opinions, man. Like, matter of fact, I'm gonna put this in the group chat. Uh, because this is a whole topic right here. Is like people will be talking about how people will, oh, you're begging for donations and stuff like that. That's how you make money, man. That's how you make money. That's how you generate business. Sometimes I talk to a lot of people who are business owners. I just so a few things. I just attended the HBCU Made Investors Showcase, and they were discussing like the app or the application that they made for HBCU Made, or people who go to HBCUs currently, and then also how they can connect with the alumni association. And they were discussing like how they're going to be getting funding and making money and stuff like that. And none of them were talking about like begging for cash apps, but they did say, hey, we do take donations. All right, and there's nothing wrong with asking for donations. They're also, we're talking about how a lot of people have started up a whole bunch of different businesses and startups in the Atlanta area, and they were saying how difficult it is to just get funded for their business. So they have like a lot of businesses that are trying to get funding, and what I found out about like business funding is that you can essentially, even with bad credit, like you can have bad personal credit, but then you can apply to get business credit, and then that's going to be separate from your personal credit. So you'll I think you sign up as a, like, you use your EIN number. It's like the social security number for the business, and then you sign on your name as like a guarantor for the loan that you will be taking. So if you sign up for like a business credit card, like I get a lot of Amex business credit cards that come through the mail, and Chase is another one. JP Morgan Chase, I think, maybe ranked as one of the best banks out there. But essentially, you could leverage getting business credit, which is scored completely differently from what you'll see for personal credit, like what you'll see for the three credit bureaus, which is Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and then you have on the business side you have Duns and Bradstreet. Duns and Bradstreet. There's like like their credit scoring system is different from like the FICO scoring system or the Vantage scoring system. It's all different. Let me see. I think I think it is Duns and Bradstreet. Let me make sure. Yep, it is Dun and Bradstreet. I'm gonna share. Actually, you know what? Let me just share my screen right quick. So this right here, you can get your own DUNS number. And the reason I know a little bit about this is because as a data engineer, I actually have worked with DUNS numbers when companies, like third-party companies, will try to get credit for their business, for like to do business with my previous employer. So they'll go in here and they'll get a DUNS number. And then I don't necessarily. I think you sign up for an account. You give them your EIN number. You fill out a form, and then you could essentially use that to start up your business credit. But then you need a few things before you can start getting business credit, such as you need to have an LLC with the Secretary of State. I live in Georgia. So if I go to Secretary of State, Georgia, the interesting thing about it is that I signed up for a LLC through, I would never suggest anybody do this personally, but I did it through LegalZoom. This is who I did it through. And when I tell you, I don't want to talk bad about this company really, but I will tell you is that I did get ripped off with LegalZoom. I did not expect to be spent. Like they let me know how much it was that I'll be getting charged. I remember, I think I got charged $400 for an LLC, and then they gave me a registered assistant, which added on some more money, and then they also added on some fees, and I ended up spending like $300 to $400 just for an LLC, which costs you $100 if you go through the Secretary of State. So if you go through the Secretary of State for your state, it may be different, but for Georgia, it was like around $100. So they charged me more, and then you can be your own registered agent. So that was something that caught me off guard. I'm thinking, like, dang, I spent like all this extra money. I had to change it to where I have my LLC, and you can actually LegalZoom goes through the Secretary of State to get you your LLC, and I can look up my LLC. I sign myself up to be a registered agent, and for myself, for my own company, and then yeah. But this is what you can use for their credit scoring system. I'm going to see if they have their business credit scoring system. All right, yeah. Let's see how it's calculated. Yeah, see, so this is through Gemini. It says a business credit score is a number that measures a business's credit worthiness and is calculated by a third-party credit bureau. Is based on a business's financial history and is used by lenders to decide whether to offer credit or loans. And I think this is really how business kind of gets scale. They scale. You have to have some sort of relationship with a bank. Or a third party bank or credit bureau. You need to have a relationship so that way you can leverage that in order to fund your business. This is something I had been neglecting. I'm over here trying to, beg people for I never begged anybody, but I'm over here just not getting paid, right? I started consulting for businesses. And I have been paid by some of my clients, but then it's really not a lot of money. It's like $300 to $400 here or there, and that's not really a lot of money, especially if they do it okay, I just need you to do this for my website and fix it up for me, and then after I finish it, that's it, right? So that $300 be all you get from that one client, and then you'll never get paid again. Like for some reason they want to have iterations and stuff, and of course you can add that into your package. Like you can offer them a package, say, hey, in order for me to update this website for you, you need to follow through with a package. Maybe I offer some sort of SEO optimization package in order for you to go with me. And then that SEO package may be based off of a subscription. So you can make some more money through consulting for website development. I just did it wrong personally. But just based off of some of the comments that I've read on my previous video, that's what I'm seeing. So it says, here are some key things to know about business credit scores. It's completely different because personal credit scores will look at the age of your credit accounts. So if you've had a credit card that has been around for 7 years, your credit age is 7 years for that credit card. But then if you get younger credit cards, that's saying you have a credit card that's 7 years old, and then you get another credit card that is like you just opened it up, that actually skews your credit age to be smaller, because I think it's just the average of your credit age. So you want to make sure, like, hey, you want to keep open an account that's old until all your other accounts get old as well before you start closing things out. And actually what got me started with my personal credit was going to school. I did have to take out a loan. I got a secured loan through the government to like my last semester for college. I had to take out a loan, and they started my credit that way. But yeah, it looks at your credit age, it looks at your credit utilization, which is the hardest part about it, because sometimes when you have to live off of your credit cards, your credit utilization will go up tremendously. It is really hard to get back down. If you only make the minimum payments on your credit card, then you'll probably be paying it off for years. Just for $10,000, it could take you about like 18 years to be able to pay that off if you only make the minimum payments. Just for $10,000. And that's really easy to be able to get. Yeah, man, it is pretty difficult. So you have your credit age, your credit utilization, you have your payment history, which also plays a huge part, because you want that to be between 99% to 100%. Really, you want to be 100%. I have 100%. I always pay my bills. I always pay my bills, but it is definitely one of those things that you want to be able to look at. Before I continue talking, I just want to make sure I look at the chat right quick, just in case if there is anybody in the chat. Let's see. We do have we have Untitled, who has won the #1 spot. Give Untitled the #1 spot. And let me I'm gonna pop out the chat right quick. Yeah, you got the soup. All right, shout out to Untitled. Coming for that #1 spot. All right, man. All right, so yeah, let me continue on talking about this. And so we were talking about personal credit, so credit age, payment history, and then credit utilization, and then you also have they also take into account a few other things, right? Like you have to make sure that your the variety of the type of credit that you take in. They look at that as well. If you have like personal loans, if you have credit cards, home loans, they look at those types of things as well. But I think that's more so um, the person who is inquiring about your credit. They look at like, hey, what kind of loans are you taking? Are you over leveraged on your utilization? Well, we can't really. We think that you may be a risk if we loan out money to you. But for the business side, let's read this. So it says, here are some key things to know about business credit scores. It says how it's calculated. Each of the three main credit bureaus, Duns and Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. You see how it's different. For personal credit, is TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Now it says Duns and Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian use their own algorithms and criteria to calculate a business's credit score. It's based on a business's credit score. A business's credit score is based on many factors, including payment history, credit utilization, company size, and length of credit history. How it's reported. Business credit scores are usually reported on a scale of 1 to 100. So that's different as to how because we don't have a scale in your personal credit score. You can get all the way up to like an 800, and I think it's like 830 or 850 is the highest credit score that you can have. Let me just make sure. $850, yeah. So it's $850 is the highest. Anything under $580 is poor. Right. So, yep. And then I think I missed out one. The debt amount. The debt amount is the one I forgot about. How much debt you're taking on. Thank you so much, Sasha Dana, for tuning in. Per usual, you're dropping gems. I appreciate you. But yeah, so back to the business credit. So yeah, you have the differences. Like you go from 580, anything it can be under 580, all the way up to 850 for your credit. Shout out to Young Investor, appreciate you. Yeah, your debt to income ratio. So it says so this is how it's reported. So it'll give you a score, and then how it's used is that lenders, investors, and see that's a difference though too. It's like investors don't look at your personal credit score; they look at your business credit score. And also your personal credit score can help your business credit score though. That's one thing I did remember looking up is that lenders, investors, and other key parties consider a business's credit score when deciding whether to do business with them. How it's different from a personal credit score. See, business credit scores are linked to a business's employer identification number, so the EIN number or tax ID number, rather than a social security number. The EIN number is essentially the social security number for the company. The only thing is that a business can be born, right, just like a person. They can apply for credit like a person, and they can also die like a person. All right, and see, yep. So, Young Investor said yes, it can help your business credit. If it says it can, especially if you're running a sole proprietorship. And see, that's the difference. So sole proprietorship is different from what you'll see for like a C Corp and an S Corp business. And you'll notice that when you like file for for your business. You can file for a C corp or S corp. Yeah, Sasha Dana says choosing to use your personal credit versus your EIN or sole proprietorship. Yeah, I think it really depends, because what you can do, right? And I think that having business credit can help you to improve your personal credit. You need to be making some income from your business in order for it to actually obtain credit. And then, like, they don't, I think it's like they have all these credit cards that could have a 0% interest rate that you could do a balance transfer over, and then you could pay off that credit over time without the interest eating up your savings. So you won't have like an additional $80 added on to your bill when you're trying to pay off your credit card. You'll have like just the principal amount. So that's like business that business credit card could also have like a 0% interest rate, as well as a personal credit card could also have a 0% interest rate for a balance transfer. So you could improve your credit in that way by transferring it over to consolidate into something that you can pay off indirectly. Because man, it takes you forever to save up enough money for $10,000 for like the average person, and it's really difficult for a lot of people to be able to pay off credit cards that are over $10,000. Let's see. So it says how it's different from a personal credit score. They're also available to anyone who pays for them, unlike personal credit scores, which are private. Okay. How to improve it? You can improve your business credit score by providing accurate and up-to-date financial information, and by regularly checking your business credit report for errors. And see how that's different? That's completely different from what you will see for a personal credit score. A personal credit score, you can do a few things. You can pay down your credit cards so the utilization goes down, and that's a huge chunk. I think that for a FICO score, your utilization, I forgot what percentage it was. I think it's like 60+% of your FICO credit score is calculated using the utilization. I'm gonna make sure right quick. Yeah, let's see. So let's see. We have the payment history. That's 35%. So I was wrong. So payment history is the most important. So when I said that you had to have 100%, like you have to pay your bills, because this is the most important one. If you have 100% in your payment history, that means that you have 35% just dedicated in your FICO score. And then you have the accounts owed. That's 30%. So these are the top two that you should focus the most on. I would say all of them, right? All of them you would focus on. But I think these two are the ones that will make or break your credit. Like if you miss a payment I think that if you miss a payment for over 30 days, then that's when it will be considered late. And then, so yeah, 30 days in order to pay this down, in order for it to be considered late. The length of credit history, this accounts for 15%. Right? So, and it goes down in importance, right? 35%, 30%, 15% of the consumer's score. It considers how long the consumer has had credit. So that's the length of the credit history. And I remember bringing that up earlier. The new credit, 10%. So they look at the amount of new inquiries that you have as well. And inquiries is like is a small amount of your credit score, of your FICO credit score. But if you have too many of them, it actually pings you. It brings down your your credit score. If you have too many credit cards that you applied to or inquired about, or you have like a lender trying to check your credit. So if you get a hard inquiry, then that will harm your credit if you have too many of them. But if you have a soft inquiry, then it doesn't affect your credit at all. Then you have your credit mix. This accounts for 10% of a consumer's score. It considers the variety of credit products. And see, that's what I brought up before. So he said, such as credit cards, installment loans, and mortgages. All right, since I own a house and I have credit cards, I have two, like a mix. I have two different types of loans. And a credit card can be essentially considered like a loan. But the difference between like a loan and a credit card is that a loan has a definite date that you have to pay it off. But a credit card, you can pay that off forever. Right? You could literally pay off a credit card for an eternity and you'll never pay it off. But for a loan, you have a time when you want to pay it down, and it's in installments. And like I said, it's in installment loans. And see, so FICO scores range from, so instead of it being from 1 to 100, the FICO scores range from 300 to 850 and are used by lenders to make decisions about credit risk. A score in the 670 to 739 range is generally considered to be good, while a score of 580 or less is considered poor. So that means you have some issues going on. There are a lot of people who got laid off, man, who needed to use credit cards and loans in order to even be here today to survive, right? And usually when you are trying to survive off of credit, you're trying to live off of credit cards, that's when you go, like, you can go from a good score to a bad one really quick because you just need access to money. And that's what it really is. You just need access. Because you're not getting the income. Your income will come, but if it's not there right now, you'll most likely have to, like, hey, either you got to ask your parents or family members, and or you have to go and apply with other people's money to get access to money, to funding, really. So same thing for a business. Same thing for business. But yeah, so the reason I bring this up is I simply just, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, the business needs to make some more money. I'm really trying to be able to scale this. And I'm noticing that just putting out content isn't really enough. I need to kind of do a little bit more than to just put out content. I could have more interviews. I think that probably would help out the channel as well. It's like having more interviews, having people, maybe even having a special guest from time to time, or maybe even just having like a partner on this. I think that would also help with the business. So went through a lot of things today, man. We went almost 35 minutes talking about like credit and business and stuff like that. I think this was pretty productive. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. I think this is a productive type of topic, because I was just really talking about these like website development clients and stuff. And, if you guys saw my video, you would see like, hey, I'm thinking about quitting. website development, and more so like I'll do it for fun, but not necessarily for like clients and stuff. Cause it seems to be a lot more like it just doesn't seem fun like that. It doesn't seem like it's paying that much money. And I could be like one of those people who say, "Oh yeah, in order for me to do your website, I'm going to charge you an arm and a leg." I could be that way, but I'm really like, okay, let's make it like affordable. Let's make it make sense, right? Like, okay, what do you need? Do you need me to just like get you set up? Do you need me to like do a full fledged website, or do you already have an existing website and you just want me to just make a few changes here and there with the wording or something that doesn't really cost that much? So yeah, that's what I noticed. And I think that what makes more money than actually building the website is setting up a product that they can either use for their own website and getting paid through advertisements or something like that, or licenses, and or if you were to have a subscription for you to be able to host their their website on maybe your server, or host them and then help them with their SEO, their search engine optimization. So that's where I think the real money is. Setting up funnels, I think, is going to help out a lot. That's how you can make more money too. See, the Young Investor says SaaS. Yeah, so software as a service. Let me actually pull up the definition of software as a service, a SaaS product. So this will be considered a software as a service. So you see Slack, HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoom, Adobe, Netflix, MailChimp, Trello, DocuSign. Those are SaaS companies. So yeah, software as a service allows users to access cloud-based applications over the internet. So if you have used any of these, Discord will be another one. Microsoft 365. Yeah, see, Adobe Creative Cloud. That's a SaaS. You can make a lot of money off of just having a SaaS product, or a CRM as well. Then Sasha Dana then changed the name to Sasha, being the extension cord to the plug. Yeah, exactly. You need to have it where people have to pay you on a recurring basis. That's what Adobe did. I know Adobe. I used to work with Adobe when I worked at the Home Depot. They have their own data products as well, like clickstream data. Like whenever you go to a website, every single thing that you do on the website is tracked. That's what Adobe will help you with. But Adobe used to have like the Photoshop packages. So they would have that you had to go into a Office Depot or a Staples or something like that, and go into like their section where they'll sell like the section where they'll sell the softwares. Like they'll sell the disc, and you could buy Adobe Photoshop, and you could also buy Adobe Illustrator separately from each other. And man, when I tell you that thing was so expensive, it was like $1,000 to get Adobe Photoshop CS6. I think it was the last one. So Adobe Photoshop CS6, you had to pay $1,000 to get it. Same thing for Illustrator, because their product is like the industry standard. So you could use that, and then like if you wanted to do anything in marketing or in entertainment, you had to use some sort of Illustrator or Photoshop, or what was it? The Adobe has a video editing software. I can't think of it at the top of my head. it's gonna kill me to not know the name of it. Adobe video Adobe Express. Is that it? Premiere Pro. So see, they have like 3 different things: Adobe Express, Premiere Pro, and After Effects. So they have all these. They have all these products. Imagine paying you had to pay hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars for these products, for a disc separately from each other, right? And that used to be extremely expensive. So they put it all in a bundle in the Creative Cloud as a SaaS product. So yeah, that's how you can make more money. I believe that will be one of the best ways to make more money for your company, is to have some sort of product or service based business. If you don't really have a product and or service, it's kind of hard, right? Like I can say, yeah, I make free videos on YouTube. That's like my service. But most people, don't really care. Like people will pay you for like just, hey, I'm just supporting. But if you don't have a product or a service to go along with it, it's really difficult to monetize. You can have a monetized channel and not make any money by just putting out content, right? Like the ads really don't hit because people don't, like you had to have thousands of people watch your videos like every time you post a video in order for you to make like $10, right? You had to have 1,000 people watch a video for you to make $10. That's pretty difficult to be able to make a decent amount of money, depending on like what type of topics you talk about. So, yeah, man, that's really interesting how like these companies can make more money. These companies take out a lot of credit. They get a lot of funding. And the more debt that they take on, the more you'll see that this company will scale. Like they take on more investors, they take on more credit cards and credit and stuff like that. Like the large companies that you see, like the Microsoft, the Google, the Amazon, Adobe, Netflix, all these companies take out a lot of debt in order to be able to scale, in order to be able to grow. And they are able to pay off a lot of their debt, but sometimes they're not, right? Some companies are just maintaining. But it's kind of like a high risk, high reward. You have to take some sort of risk in order to get some sort of reward. If you don't want to take any risk, then you may as well just completely stop business. But yeah, so that's what I'm noticing from this conversation, from this topic. I think we are at 43 minutes in. So I would just want to say I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to the people who are watching the live stream right now, and also the people who are watching the replay. Really do appreciate you all. I will be back with some more videos. I will be back tomorrow to post another video for the 18th. So December 18th, I'll be posting a video as well. Man, it has been a ride. It's pretty difficult to do videos every single day for 31 days. Pretty difficult, but we are here. We are still going. With that being said, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. You can also hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified whenever I make new videos on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. And do not forget to build your billions. Oh, I got JT Coinring says it's super chat on euros and not USD. I do not know. It's $1 for me. It says dollars for me, JT Coin Rings, USD. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Better go ahead and close it out. Do not forget to hit the like button and share and subscribe, man. So that way more people can kind of come in to the Before the Billions channel, and we can create some more motion, some more movement. Yeah.